Hey, my creative friends. My name is Shannon from shannonstudio.com. And I am here to talk about a creative life and to share a creative life tip. We are on day 342, I think, today. And so we just have until August 1st. Then we have gone a year. And on August 1st, I will be launching my Creative Heartbeats Club. Hey, Trisha. And so, I'll stop with the everyday live videos then, but I'll still be doing some live videos, but not every day. I guess I just repeated myself there. Let's see. Okay, we've had stormy weather. Last night was really stormy. Not like Missouri storms where it just blows everything to smithereens, but for Sweden, for Stockholm, for where we live, it was really stormy last night. It looks like some more of the same tonight. Let's see. Okay, for tonight, hey boyfriend, for tonight, our tip. It's interesting to me to have Joseph, well, I should say, he comes to me all the time and we talk all the time and we do things all the time. But he will often do something and then come to me to report, and he'll say, I'm good at science. He'll make this thing where he just makes something, puts something together, takes something apart, and then he'll report, I'm good at science. And then he'll do a bunch of, make up math problems. He wants us to make up math problems for him, and then he'll finish those, and then he'll say, I'm good at math. And, of course, in the artist thing, you can see back there on the wall, he has art everywhere, and I'm a good artist. And it's so interesting to me that he can so freely say these things, that he can so, the action says what he is. Hey, Rose. So performing these things means that he's this thing. Hey, Allison. So I often hear, and I do this too, I'm not whatever. First comes to mind, I'm not a bike rider. And so we have these stories we tell ourselves that are things that we're not, and not, not reframing it maybe, and reframing it and saying, I'm working towards being a better bike rider, or I am a bike rider, or, something like that, like a child does when they just announce that they are, because they have taken actions toward that thing. There's a quote from James Clear at Harvard Business Review IdeaCast. I guess it's a podcast. And he says, every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. And so the more that you show up and perform habits, the more you cast votes for being a certain type of person. The more that you build up this body of evidence that, hey, this is who I am. So that's what it reminds me of Joseph. He's building up this body of evidence because he's doing these things. He has these habits of drawing. He has the habits of doing math. He has the habits of putting things together. Oh, boyfriend says you're a cyclist. That's still kind of a little far-reaching for me. I'm a bike rider. I'm not quite a cyclist. I'm working towards being a cyclist. Maybe that's the way to do it. But he performs the thing, and then it's the evidence. It's evidence-based that he is this thing, and he goes across the board. He has a lot of confidence. He has across the board, and maybe we should have more of that type of confidence. So from that quote, it's they're saying, whatever habits you do, whatever you do daily, whatever you show up for, whatever you spend your time on, or even what others kind of necessitate that you spend your time on, then that's the body of evidence that says what type of person you are. Sometimes we go, what type of person do I want to be? And then we can go back and figure it out from there. But this is saying figure it out from the habits that you do. And if we look at it that way, then we can see where we're at. Where am I at, and does that align with who I want to be? And that's sometimes I think where the friction is that we want to be a certain type of person, but we're not there when we actually look at our behavior. And so then there's a quote this from the same Harvard Business Review idea cast. He says, James Clear says, the real reason that habits matter is they can shift your internal narrative. They can change your self-image. And that's, the idea of reframing what you say. That's the idea of looking at the behavior. What did you do today? What did you cast your vote for today to say who you were? And that's one of the ideas about the Creative Heartbeats Club is that you're going to put that body of evidence into your month. You're going to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do this week. This is what I'm going to do this week. And so you start to actually do the behavior. So then you can have that body of evidence that says, I am a creative person living a creative life and developing creative habits. Let's see. The One Thing from Gary Keller, he says, put yourself together and your world falls into place. He was telling the story of a boy whose dad wanted to spend the day together. And the boy got up early, naturally, because that's what kids do when they get excited. He got up early, and then the dad was kind of like, I still kind of want to read my newspaper and have my coffee. So he saw this picture of this world in the newspaper. So he took it out in the newspaper, tore it up, and he said, here's a puzzle, put it together. So he knew his son would take a while to do this. So then, but in just moments later, the son came back and said, I'm done. And so he looked, and sure enough, the kid was done. And then he was like, how did you do that? And he said, well, the paper fell on the floor. When it fell on the floor, I looked up at the puzzle, and it was a glass table, so I saw that there was a man on the other side. So he actually put together the man first, and then the world came together. And so he says that, put yourself together and your world falls into place. He says, when you bring purpose to your life, know your priorities, and achieve high productivity on the priority that matters most, and every day, your life makes sense and the extraordinary becomes possible. All success in life starts within you. And for women, I think everything relies on you. Usually you are the backbone of the family, and how you feel and what kind of day you're having, what kind of life you're leading is then a reflection into your family. I mean, and he says every day do these things. So purpose, priority, and productivity. He says every day do something. And I feel like to say you are the priority. I am the priority in our days. We have to take care of ourselves first, and then we're able to take care of other people. It's the little domino thing. You are the first domino, and I see all the hearts and loves from the boyfriend. You are the first domino in the domino line. You are the priority, and you have to make sure you take care of yourself some way every day. In some way every day, perform acts, perform habits, get the evidence that you are taking care of yourself. Let's see. Actually, I just did all this stuff. I guess I'm just quick today. So I wanted to tie that into Creative Heartbeats Club. We are going to be able to prioritize you. And the idea of the club is that when you know somebody's going to be there, a lot of times we'll show up for our friends. We'll show up and it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. Okay, for instance, like bike riding tomorrow. I'm supposed to go bike riding tomorrow. But then one of the gals that I was going to meet she's like, I can't, she's going to the States. And so it was like, oh, I don't have to do it. And in reality, so I'm going back and forth in my mind, well, I should still do it because, it's a commitment that I want to make. And then I'm like, but no, she's not going to be there, so I don't have to. And, I'm going back and forth. And so I think that's part of the reason the Creative Heartbeats Club will be good for you and I, is because then we'll go, this is when we're going to meet. We'll have your monthly calendar that says these are the dates, and some of them will be live, some of them will be, the prompt will come out, so there will be different ways, but it'll be a regular thing. So then oh, I'm going to, I'm going to see this live and hear what's going on at this time. So then you can show up and we can make sure our habits and our behaviors are putting forth that body of evidence of who we are. So again, I will launch August 1st, and I will have signups at the end of July. And I am still working on, I'm working on what platform to use to deliver content. So that's what's taking me so long to set up. But I'm going to have that up in this week. And so then you can sign up if you're interested. And it's all the things that go with the one thing I want to do. So anyways, prioritize yourself. You are the first domino in the lead. You are priority. Set aside some way every day to take care of yourself. So remember, you have a creative heartbeat. Listen for it, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.